Welcome to Dolly Talk. This is Dolly. How is everybody doing? All right, we are back to our lovely boy Wade Wilson, who is just having a banner of a day today. His comrades, his amigos, his simps are in full force, getting him those donations, getting him those funds. So we'll have an update on that later in the stream. Right. And real quick, there was the Baldwin update yesterday. The judge has denied the state's motion for an extension of page limits, which could be an issue considering she didn't ask permission first and already submitted like a 52-page Spurgfest. Who is that? Whoor? That's that? Which who are we talking about? Jody? She's not a whore. No. She's a sweetheart. All right, let's get to it. So yeah, we're going to be doing the Wade Wilson trial for a little bit, and then we'll see what kind of updates and shenanigans we can get into. All right, Stephanie, come on down. Oh. Well, that was awkward. Apparently I should share that in the future.
Johnson.
All right. Now Stephanie's coming on down. Hey, JMK. Oh, and hello, Ronnie and Brad. And Justin. Yes, I was late. I know. Come on, guys.
All right. You'll just face the clerk, raise your right hand. She'll swear.
Well, that is a major tripping hazard. I mean, come on, guys. You get that shit together. Look at that. Look at that whole thing on the bottom of the floor. Good Lord, man.
All right. You'll just face the clerk, raise your right hand. She'll swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. You can take the stand. Just watch your step.
May I inquire, Your Honor?
You may.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please tell the jurors your name.
Stephanie Sailors.
What was your name back in 2019?
Stephanie Johnson.
Have you since gotten married?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Do you know someone by the name of Christine Melton?
Yes, Christine and I have been friends since we were in high school.
Where did the two of you meet?
In Illinois, where we grew up.
When did you meet?
When we were about 15 years old, and we became friends through her cousins, who I'm also very close with, and we were inseparable, moved across the country together, lived together all through our 20s.
I'm the last person to talk about a gap in their teeth, but oof.
And then ended up moving to Florida to be close to all of our family down here.
Where else did you live across the country with Christine?
We lived in Colorado together as well.
Now, did you both end up here in Cape Coral, Florida?
Yes.
Not trying to be too mean.
Back in October of 2019, were you working?
Yes. Christine and I both worked at Duffy's in Cape Coral.
What type of employer is Duffy's?
It was a restaurant and bar, and we both waited tables there.
Was Christine dating anyone back in October of 2019?
Hi, Christine.
No, Christine was not dating anybody.
Were you dating anyone?
No, I was not.
Where did Christine live at the time?
Christine lived in Cape Coral off of Tudor Drive.
What type of home did she live in?
Ooh, this
It
might
was
be
a duplex
this might be the girl that was with her.
apartment.
Did she live with anyone?
She lived alone.
Did she have any pets?
She did have one cat.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
For the record, I'm showing defense counsel what's been previously marked as State's Exhibits 4 and 10A. I'm going to show you these photos and ask if you'll take a look and tell me if you recognize them. Starting with State's Exhibit 4, what do you recognize this exhibit to be?
That's Christine.
Okay. Is that how she looked back on October 6th and 7th of 2019?
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 10A. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, that is the apartment that Christine lived in.
And does that fairly and accurately show the apartment that she lived in back in October of 2019?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, the state would move 4 and 10A into evidence.
Any objection? Be admitted.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Is that Christine?
Yes.
I'm showing you her duplex where she lived at the time. Which door is hers?
The white door on the left. So there's a window and then the door right next to it to the right.
Okay, so the door to the right of the window is her door, or the door to the left of the window?
To the left of the window.
Of the middle window?
Yeah, the far left door.
Thank you.
Yeesh, nibbles.
I want to take you back to October 6th of 2019. Did you see Christine on that day?
Dude, what's he doing? Lurking over his lawyer's shoulder? What you writing there, boss? What you writing?
Yes, Christine and I had planned to meet up later that night and to go out drinking at the Buddha bar in Fort Myers.
Had you ever been to the Buddha bar?
I had not been there before.
Right.
Where is the Buddha located?
It's located off of McGregor and I think
Sure.
College Parkway.
Is that in Lee County, Florida?
Yes.
How did the two of you get to the Buddha?
So I met Christine at her apartment that night and we took an Uber from her apartment to the Buddha.
About what time did you Uber over to the Buddha?
Around 10:30.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes. Yes.
For the record, I'm showing defense counsel what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 7. I'm showing you State's Exhibit 7. Will you take a look at it and tell me if you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, this is the Buddha in Fort Myers.
And is the bar behind the big statue of the Buddha?
Yes, that's the main entrance to the bar.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move 7 into evidence.
Any objection? None. Be admitted.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Do you have any specific reason the two of you chose the Buddha on that night?
There was live music there that night, so we wanted to go see a band play.
When you got there, what was just sort of the general environment of the bar?
It wasn't overly crowded. There was, a decent amount of people there that night, dancing, drinking, nothing out of the ordinary from a typical bar.
Was there a band playing?
Yes.
Now, were you friendly and did you talk to other people that were there?
Yeah, we socialized quite a bit. There's a couple of different bars in the main bar, and we were down at one bar, we danced, we got drinks at other bars, we talked to the people that were there. Pretty standard going out night.
Now, obviously you're drinking and listening to music this entire time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had been drinking pretty heavily that night.
And is that why you chose to get an Uber?
Yes, yeah, we both knew we were going to be drinking, so we didn't want to be driving at all.
Oh, that's sensible.
Now, while you were there, did someone approach you?
Yeah, towards the end of the night, as we were walking up to the upstairs bar, somebody jumped out in front of me, kind of just like to get my attention, and said, "Hey, who's your friend?" And gestured
Well, that's not creepy at all. Hi, who's your friend?
towards Christine. And, you know, he seemed friendly and introduced himself, and I grabbed Christine and said, "Hey, this guy wants to meet you."
Hi.
What was his demeanor?
Didn't seem too homicidal. If that's what you're asking.
Friendly, charming.
Is there any red flags that popped up when you were talking to him?
No.
How did he introduce himself
I know he didn't have the facial tattoos, but he still had the rest of them.
to you?
At that point, he introduced himself as JR.
Do you see JR sitting in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Would you please point to him and identify an article of clothing that he's wearing?
Right there in a bright blue suit.
Let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Okay.
Now, has his appearance changed since the time that you met him?
Yes, he has a lot more tattoos on his face. He did not have any facial tattoos
May I
the night
approach
we
a
met
witness?
him.
You may.
He seems to have developed a fondness for a certain Austrian painter. I would notice that right off the bat.
At this time, the state showing what's been marked as State's Exhibit 39.
Ronnie.
Would you take a look at State's Exhibit number 39 and tell me if you recognize that exhibit?
Yes,
What do you recognize it to be?
JR, the person who introduced himself to us that night.
And is he the same person sitting here in court today?
Yes, ma'am.
And does this fairly and accurately represent how he looked back on October 6th of 2019?
Exactly.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move 39 into evidence.
It'll be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Oh, look at that handsome face.
Now, after you introduced him to Christine, what happened next?
Christine and
No offense, ma'am, but would you say you're the worst wing woman in history?
I and JR and another man, Jason, who we were introduced to by JR, talked at the bar, mingled. Christine and JR seemed to be interested in each other. Me and Christine had commented on how he had dimples, and one of the guys she had been talking to earlier in the night only had one dimple, and he had two dimples. And, she definitely was attracted to him, and he seemed attracted to her, and they were friendly and getting to know each other.
Now, you mentioned that JR introduced you to someone by the name of Jason.
Yes, so there was another man that he was with at the bar named Jason, and I was under the impression that they were there together as friends, just like me and Christine had been.
At some point, did you take your talking and socializing outside of the bar?
Yeah, so that was at the end of the night and the bar was closing. So they were kind of shuffling everybody out the door. Christine and
Well, this isn't West Virginia. No offense if you're from there.
I went outside, and we're still
I know what you
continuing
mean
to
now.
socialize with JR and Jason until, it was decided to leave. And me and Christine had came in an Uber, so we followed Jason and JR to their car. JR had tossed the keys over to Jason, and we were going to go after party. I didn't know at that point if we were going back to Christine's house or where we were headed from there, but we were going together.
Now, when you went into the parking lot, everybody's talking. Again, describe the mood.
Happy. Everybody was cheerful, intoxicated, but there wasn't anything out of the ordinary or scary by any means. Just typical end of the bar night.
Desperation.
Now, is this around 2 a.m. that the bar's closing
Yes.
and kicking everybody out?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So everything was closing at that point.
again, as far as JR's concerned, does he exhibit any kind of anger or any kind of red flags?
No, not at all.
And in fact, you and Christine thought he was charming?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned that JR threw the keys over to Jason.
Mm-hmm.
What type of car was it that
were
you
they?
got in?
Maybe.
It was Dodge Hellcat, I think it's called.
Whose car did you believe that was?
I believed it was Jason's at that point.
When you
Or,
got it,
yeah.
you believed it was Jason's car?
I don't really remember. I just know Jason was driving at that time, so my assumption was that it was his car.
Where did everybody sit in the car?
Jason sat in the front seat, Christine sat in the passenger seat, and then me and JR were in the back seat.
Now, where did you end up going?
We drove not very far. It was only a couple of turns, maybe less than 10 minutes in the car, but we ended up at Jason's house.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
For the record, I'm showing defense counsel what has been previously marked as
We met his
number
mom.
8 and 9. I'm showing you states exhibits number 8 and 9. Will you please take a look at those exhibits and tell me if you recognize them?
This is the car that we left the Buddha in.
States exhibit number 8.
8.
And does that fairly and accurately represent the way the car appeared when you got in it that night?
Yes.
Showing you states exhibit number 9. What does states exhibit number 9 show?
This is Jason's house.
Is this the house where you went to after the bar closed?
Yes, I remember that star on the house.
Your Honor, at this time the state will move 8 and 9 into evidence.
Any objection?
Permission to publish.
You may.
You just told the jurors this is the Hellcat that you all got in.
Yes, ma'am.
And then states exhibit number 9. That's Jason's house.
Yes.
When you arrived at Jason's home, was anyone else present?
Yeah, his mom was home. So when we walked in the front door, his mom was awake and on the couch and not very happy that he was bringing people home. We tried to make small talk and, kind of ease the situation, but we just ended up.
Hi, Mom. These two are going to go screw. Is that okay? Love ya. Good Lord.
Going to Jason's bedroom, which was down the hall from there.
Now, when you got back into Jason's bedroom, what happened with Christine and JR?
So pretty quickly after getting to Jason's house, Christine and JR started having sex.
And when they started having sex, what did you and Jason do?
Jason had a bedroom that led to the outside, so Jason and I hung out outside most of the time.
Oh, that must have been awkward. I mean, what? You didn't even try to hook up with Jason? I mean, come on. He brought you over to meet his mom and everything, and you didn't want to do the nasty? Rude. Yikes. Let me see one sec. Damn it, I don't have sound effect I wanted.
Only to, really go in to use the bathroom maybe. Christine and JR were inside for a while. They came outside and mingled a little bit with us and went back into the bedroom.
Jesus.
You mentioned that they started out having sex. Did their sexual encounters appear to be consensual?
Yes.
So there was nothing that, again, at this point, that caused any red flags?
No.
Jeez, how many times did he do it? Guy's like a rabbit. Only with herpes and hepatitis.
Now, when you and Jason were outside, what were the two of you doing?
We were drinking, smoking, talking. He had a trampoline out there, so we sat on the trampoline and talked for a while. Just
A trampoline, like, adults in their 30s like to use.
mingling, talking.
Did the two of you have any interest in each other that night beyond just talking and friendship?
No.
So did the two of you hook up at all?
No.
Now, you mentioned that JR and Christine would go inside the house and come back out and kind of go back and forth. During these back and forth interactions, were they normal types of interactions?
Yeah.
Did they appear to be having a good time?
Yeah, they appeared to be having a good time with each other and, joyful and, nothing out of the ordinary or concerning.
Now, about how long were you at Jason's house?
I would say we were probably there for a couple hours, maybe 2 hours.
After about 2 hours, did you all leave?
Yes, so
Wait, you couldn't even give him a pity handy? Good Lord, woman.
we were at Jason's house, and then kind of, quickly, JR was saying, oh, we got to go. This guy doesn't want us here anymore. And it was kind of at that point that I realized that Jason and JR didn't know each other before this night.
Well, that's awkward.
The way JR was, seeming at the beginning of the night was that, they were there together. And then when we were leaving, it was, it didn't seem that way. It seemed like this guy wanted us out of his house, and it was kind of quickly.
Something about nutting on his mom's pillow. I don't know the whole story, but we had to skedaddle pretty quick.
An exit. But when we went to the driveway, we got back into the car that we came in, which Jason had drove at that time, but now JR was driving.
Okay, so when you are leaving Jason's house, was it somewhat abrupt as far as
Yeah,
you
it
all
was
leaving?
quick, but it wasn't anything like he wasn't mad that we were still there or anything like that. It was just time to go.
You already nutted twice. Come on, guys. Let's wrap it up. I got work in the morning.
And this night that you went out on the bar, it was a Sunday night,
Yes.
so you're going into now Monday morning.
No, Monday. Everybody.
Oh, great. Way to really honor the Lord.
Well, I had to work. I believe Jason had to work the next day. His mom obviously wasn't happy that we were there to begin with, so.
I wonder why.
So the party, everything is kind of winding down for the night.
Yes, and we go and get in the car, and JR is trying to
Oh, I bet he's gonna just really impress them with his driving skills.
back the car out of the driveway, and he can't get it to go in reverse. It's just revving the engine in the driveway.
Is the car a manual or a stick shift?
It's a stick shift car.
Isn't that the same thing?
Clear to you that he was unable to drive a stick shift?
Yes.
So what happened is you're in the driveway and he's revving the engine.
So Jason actually had come outside because he heard the engine revving.
Or Jason.
And, said, you guys got to leave. You can't be here anymore. You're being too loud. It's, almost the morning. At that.
It's 4 a.m.
At that point, JR had actually gotten the car into reverse and into the
Really?
street. he was trying to get the car into drive and go forward, and same thing, he couldn't get the car to move. He's just revving the engine in the middle of the street. It was at that point that I got out of the car and said to Christine, I said, get out of the car, let's take an Uber. Let's get in an Uber and go home.
Right. So were you able to make contact with an Uber driver to have them come pick you up?
Yes, Christine called the Uber.
Now, once the Uber driver arrived, did you get into the Uber right away?
Yes, I got into the Uber right away. Christine and Wade Wilson were looking for his cell phone. He couldn't find his cell phone. So they started to walk back towards Jason's house to look for his cell phone. I don't know if they made contact with him. I was sitting in the Uber at that point with the Uber driver, and both him and I remember him saying, oh, they got 5 minutes or I'm leaving. And, you know, both of us were ready to go at that point.
Now, to your knowledge,
Did you at least hook up with the Uber driver? I mean, don't want to waste the whole night.
did Wade Wilson, or the person that was saying that he was JR, did he ever find his phone that night?
I don't believe so.
So when he and Christine got back in the car, where did the Uber driver take you?
The Uber took us back to Christine's apartment.
And then that's 10A, Christine's apartment.
Gotta laugh somehow.
Yes.
Now,
Good to see you here.
what happened when you got back to Christine's home?
When we got back to Christine's home, the three of us went into her house, and I know Christine and I had this sense of relief that we had made it home, you know, that we got home, you know, safely. And
Okay.
and you know, just it was winding down. I remember sitting on the couch and taking my shoes off. I remember Christine standing in the kitchen getting something to drink. And I remember telling her, you know, I had to go home because I had to go to work the next day and take my son to school.
Now, where was your
Oh.
son staying that night?
He was with my mom.
And did you and your son live with your mom?
Yeah, we lived with her at the time.
Now, about what time did you leave to go home so that you could take your son to school and go to work?
About 6 o'clock.
Now, prior to leaving, did everything seem fine?
Yeah, it did. And I remember telling Christine, you know, I have to go home, I have to go to work. And she was like, okay. She hugged me and kissed me goodbye and said, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And again, when she told you goodbye and that she'd see you tomorrow, did you have any concerns for her safety?
No,
And in fact, if you did, would you have left her home with just her and Wade Wilson in that house?
not at all. And if she was concerned, Christine would have never let me leave that house if she was scared. She would have said, let's get this guy out of here together.
So when you left, is it safe to say that really the night was over? The party was over.
Yeah.
It's already morning time.
You know, I busted a nut in that girl 3 times. Can you believe it, dude?
And
I can believe
you
it.
know, like I said, we had this sense of relief that we had made it home. You know, we obviously were in a car with somebody who couldn't drive a car, and
Just throwing shade on his shitty manual driving skills.
and I know for me that was the scariest part of that night, was the being behind the wheel of a car with somebody who couldn't drive. And I know when we got
Well, he could drive. He just couldn't drive a stick, ma'am. He just couldn't get it into gear.
back to Christine's house in that Uber, it felt like, you know, we were home safe.
And it seems that your concern was not driving while intoxicated because along the way you had gotten Ubers.
Oh, maybe that's why Wade couldn't drive. He was just drunk. Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Now, when you left, you said that you had to take your son to school and you also had to go to work. What time did you go to work?
I had to work the morning shift at Duffy's that day. I think I was at work by 10:30 in the morning. My son starts school at 9, so I dropped him off and then went to work.
Now, you mentioned earlier that Christine worked at Duffy's. Did she have to work a shift that day?
She was not scheduled to work that day.
Nevertheless, did you reach out to her just to check in with her at some point?
Yeah, I had texted her in the early afternoon and just said, "You up?" And I did not receive a response.
All right. May I?
I'd hope not. Oh, Dina, you are so sweet. I'm here. I'm listening while I work. Have some money. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since we've caught up. Thank you so much. You're always such a good friend.
Approach, Your Honor.
You may.
For the record, I'm showing State's Exhibits, or I'm showing defense counsel what's been marked as State's Exhibit 6, 5I, and 5J. I ask you to take a look at State's Exhibit 6. Do you recognize the numbers on State's Exhibit 6?
Yeah, that's Christine's phone number.
Is that the phone number you texted her?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you State's Exhibit 5I. What is 5I?
Christine's cell phone.
Okay, and 5J?
The back of Christine's cell phone.
And is that a poppet that's on the back of her cell phone?
Yep.
That would help
Pop
her to hold
socket.
it?
Yep.
And is this the phone that she carried that night and carried with her at all times?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would seek to move 6, 5I, and 5J into evidence.
Any objection? Be admitted.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Showing State's Exhibit 6. That was Christine's cell phone number at the time.
Yes.
Is 630 like a Chicago or an Illinois area code?
Yeah. Yeah, that's an Illinois area code.
Showing you 5I. That's the front of her cell phone.
Yes.
And then 5J, that's the back of her cell phone with a pop socket.
Yes.
Now, when she didn't immediately respond to your text, were you concerned at all?
No. At that point, I was not concerned. We had had a late night. She didn't have to work. I assumed she was sleeping.
Okay. Did you later on try to get a hold of her?
So when I left
Okay, that is just so weird.
work, I called her again. She didn't answer.
It's like he's debating if, ask him, do you think I should have tried to have a threesome? What do you think?
And then I got in touch with Samantha, who is her cousin. Again, not concerned that I hadn't heard from her. I asked Sam, I said, have you talked to Christine at all today? She said no. I had told her, I was out with her last night, just kind of told her about our night and what we did, and ended the conversation. Maybe a few minutes later, I'm not sure how long, I got a call from the Cape Coral Police Department.
Now, you mentioned you talked to Samantha, who was Christine's cousin. Mm-hmm. Was Samantha also a good friend of yours?
Yeah, Samantha and I have been friends since high school as well.
And was Samantha obviously she was a cousin of Christine, but were they also very close friends?
Yeah, all of us have been like sisters, like best friends.
And Samantha had not gone out with you the night before?
No, Samantha was not with us.
Now, did you also try to call Christine?
Yeah, I tried to call Christine and text her that day.
When you called her, did the phone ring numerous times?
Yes.
It didn't go straight to voicemail?
I honestly, I remember it ringing and going to voicemail. I don't remember how, if it went straight to voicemail or, rang for a long time.
But either way,
I know
she
I did not talk to anybody and nobody answered.
No one
She did.
answered?
No.
Now, you mentioned that a Cape Coral detective called you, and what was the purpose of that detective's call to you that you thought at the time?
So at that time when they called, they were asking me if,
Your Honor,
Sustained.
may I give a
Yes.
object? It's not for the truth of the matter asserted, but for the effect on the listener.
Still hearsay and still.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you back to the jury room for a few minutes.
All right.
Well, well, well.
Well, if I just proffered a couple questions so that I could make my argument as to
Okay.
how this is not going to be hearsay.
All right.
All right. So you received a call from a detective, and what was the basis, or what was that conversation?
the police were asking me if I knew where Christine was or why her car would have been found in Fort Myers.
So based on these questions, what did it cause you to do?
It caused me to start being concerned about what happened to Christine after I left.
Okay, and then so based on your concern about what happened, what did you do?
Myself, Samantha, our other best friend, and Samantha's husband all went to Christine's apartment.
And when you got to Christine's apartment, what did you see there?
When we got there, the caution tape was already up.
So, Your Honor, the reason for asking the detective is not to prove that her car was stolen, but to prove that at that point, based on our conversation, the action she took and the steps she took, which were to talk to her cousin Samantha, to then actually go over to that home. So based on that, the state would argue that's an exception to the hearsay rule and it should be admissible.
My objection is it's hearsay, and the relevance, there's no relevance. I mean, she can just say, based on what the officers told me, I went over to the house without relaying what the officers told me.
Judge, if you're saying what the officers told me, that's again, it's still an exception to hearsay. What the officer told her is not used for the truth of the matter asserted. So therefore, it is non-hearsay because the exception is,
Oh my God.
is the information that he told her was used by her to then go to the house and to further try to find out
that
where.
look. Oh, that look on his face. Oh my God. Look at the bailiff's eyes in the back. Holy crap. Those are psycho eyes. Wade's like the only person out of those four that looks almost normal. Like this guy looks like he's just fucking wife. This guy's looking at her like would have won that objection if they didn't let these damn women into law school. I don't even know what the hell that that bailiff's thinking. I am just creeped the hell out. He looks like a Ferengi on Deep Space Nine. Holy crap. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just got so mesmerized by this picture. The more I look at it, the harder it hits.
Her friend Christine was. So
And it's still got the eyes.
what the officer told her, we're not using that for the truth. So therefore, it's not hearsay.
But the other objection was to relevance of the effect on her.
Sure. The relevance is that at this point, she realizes that she should be concerned that her friend is missing and that she goes over there. So it's highly relevant as to how this day took place and how she gets over to her missing friend's home and what she does. That's all completely relevant to this case and to the charges that we have before this court.
All right.
Well,
Go ahead.
sorry, while it may be interesting, it's not relevant to anything in this case.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sustain the objection.
What?
You can ask her about getting a call from the detective. I think you could go as far as having an objection to her asking, the detective is asking questions about Miss Melton.
Correct.
And then what did you do next?
I'm not a lawyer, but I don't think that was the best argument he made.
That if it's just based on what the detective said, ask you, what did you do?
All right, so I'll ask her, did a detective call you? And based on what he told you, did you become concerned and then go to Christine's home?
Any objection to that?
No.
Okay. Let's bring the jury back in. Yes?
Gentleman's chair that I pulled out, I noticed he had two books, and I asked him when he went back, I said, what's that other book? He said, it's my personal, and I said, I have to bring that to the attention of the judge. He said he didn't write anything in it, but...
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn that up. I wonder what they said there.
Let's bring the jury back in.
All right. It might be a little loud for a sec, but I'm trying to catch it, and I'll try to minimize the blast.
Yes?
Gentleman's chair that I pulled out, I noticed he had two books, and I asked him when he went back, I said, what's that other book? He said, it's my personal, and I said, I have to bring that to the attention of the judge. He said he didn't write anything in it, but...
Okay. So, I guess what...
Okay. Something about one of the jurors' books that the hot mic caught. That was interesting. Then they shut the
Official notebook as long
Brian
as an
out.
official notebook, as long as that
As
notebook
long as it
turned
stays
in.
here, he can't take it back. He can't take it back to the jury room with him.
Okay.
Any objection to that?
No.
Okay. And I can even just instruct them that I prefer they use the notepads that the court provided. And if they, anything else, leave it out of the courtroom and just use the notepads in the courtroom and leave those in the
For
courtroom.
now, it stays in the courtroom. Or
Yeah, he said he hasn't written anything in it.
May I hand it to you?
You have it?
Yes, okay.
No, just leave it. It's fine. Where is it? In his chair? Okay. No, I don't what we'll do is,
Great. Hope he's not drawing anything obscene.
all right, yeah, let me take a look.
Ooh. Kiosk Club.
Okay, it's blank. There's nothing in it. So
And that's
Oh, clearly not Mark Jensen's notebook.
that's his personal one. There's nothing in here. Doesn't appear to be anything written in it. It's just got his juror summons. So just ask him to leave this back in the jury room and only use the note and pad that the court has provided.
Bring it back with me now.
Yes.
Just so the record's clear, the bailiff handed the notebook that the juror brought with him to court. The court has reviewed it. There's no writing on the inside. You've given it back to the bailiff.
Correct.
Thank you.
And then you can bring everybody else out.
Yeah, Sonnet you. Hey, well, okay. Is that a penis tattoo on his neck?
Now I'll instruct
Oh.
all the jurors if they brought
Holy
their own
crap.
personal notebooks or anything, just to leave those back in the jury room. And
I'm assuming you mean like right here at the bottom of his neck. I don't know, but considering what a degenerate I am in the trials I normally cover, it would not surprise me if a penis comes up in this, to be honest.
only use the ones provided by the court.
Please, thank you.
Good Lord, I cannot escape covering trials involving a penis in some way, shape, or form.
Jurors entering.
Whoa! Jurors entering. Distant.
All right. Please be seated. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I know some of you may have brought your own notepads or what have you with you.
Jeff.
I just ask you, leave any of those personal things in the jury room, and when you're in the courtroom, just use the notepads that the court has provided. That way they can stay in here during any proceedings, okay?
Oh,
Ready
what
to
are they
proceed?
giggling
Yes,
about?
Thank you.
They can stay in here during any proceedings, okay? Ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All
Thank you. Going
mean-
back to, I believe we were talking about
Honestly, his two lawyers, what the hell could they be giggling about over there? I mean, good Lord. I do have an update on the fundraising and Twitter account after this. These people. Yeah, I'll give you guys an update after this. Oh, good Lord. These people are so freaking deranged.
a detective making contact with you. Once you had a conversation with the detective, did you become concerned?
Yes.
What did you do?
When I received the call from the Cape Coral detective, myself, Samantha, and
Justin.
her husband and her other cousin all went to Christine's apartment.
What did you see when you arrived at Christine's apartment?
When we got there, the police were already there, and they had already put caution tape up around her house.
Did you know any information at that point about where Christine was?
No, we went from Christine's house to her mom's house, which was right around the corner from Christine's apartment. And we waited there until the detective came there and informed us that they found.
Sustain.
At some point, did you learn that Christine had passed?
Yes,
And what happened once you learned that Christine had passed?
it was devastating.
Did you stay at her mother's home?
No, I went straight from.
Can't think of a less worthy charitable cause than Wade's fundraiser. Absolutely. Look, I've helped raise money for people who have been convicted of murder. I did not think they got a fair trial, and know the family, and have certainly, there are causes out there that are absolutely worthy. This is not one of them. Wade deserved a fair trial. Absolutely. But no, he gets an appeal. He will have public defenders helping him. It's insane. It's infuriating. Of all the causes out there. Hey, Linda, how you doing?
Her mother's home to the Cape Coral Police Department and gave a statement.
Now, when you went to Christine's home and you found yellow crime scene tape around her property, did you see her car sitting in the driveway?
No, and in fact, it was pouring rain, and I remember all the detectives and police officers standing under her carport and seeing that her car was not there.
Do you smell the burning clutch rubber? Or I imagine however a clutch smells that's been destroyed.
Now, when you and Christine had gone out to the Buddha bar the night before, was her car in that carport?
Yes.
May I
I will say there are times that confessions can be coerced or done under duress, or if somebody has been driven to a point through conditions of the prison or jail. But no, he was bragging about it with his dad. Multiple people he talked to, there's zero doubt in my mind that he did it. Zero.
Approach, Your Honor.
You may.
For the record, I'm showing defense counsel 5D.
I'm sorry, what?
D.
D.
As in David. I'm approaching you and showing you State's Exhibit 5D. Do you recognize what's in that exhibit?
Yes, those are Christine's name tags from her Duffy's uniform.
Yeah, just a little bit louder.
Move 5D into evidence.
Any objection?
None.
When the closed captioning can pick you up, maybe you should mute your mic.
Be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
You were just talking about Christine's car not being in the carport when you went to her home, showing you Exhibit 5.
Ostensibly, the funds are meant to go for attorneys for his appeal, but she probably already spent it. I mean, that would be hilarious. That would be so funny.
Was that Christine's car at the time of her death?
Yes.
Also showing you 5A. Is
Yes.
that the back of her car?
Yes.
And it's a Versa.
Yes, a Nissan Versa.
I'm showing you 5D. Are those name tags that she would wear to work when she waited tables at Duffy's?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned giving a statement to law enforcement. Did you detail everything to them about the night before and the events that took place at the Buddha all the way until you were contacted about her death?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, did Christine have any tattoos on her leg?
Yeah, she had a tattoo on her calf of a
Haha, no, not yet, actually. Not yet. I'm sure Hello will be along here soon to yell at me and shame me into it. But I'm still using the old one. But it's actually working well today so far. It's probably like the smoothest I've had at work in quite a while. So it's either a good day or maybe I'm making progress.
Gemini symbol with some tribal music notes on the side of it.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
What the hell are they talking about?
State's Exhibits 10E and 13.
E and
13. May I approach?
you may.
I'm going to ask that you take a look first at 10E. Do you recognize this?
Yes, that's
And what does it
Christine.
show?
That's the tattoo on Christine's leg.
And then I'm also going to have you look quickly at 13. Do you recognize that?
Yes, that's Christine.
And was that after she had passed?
Yes.
And a permission. First of all, the state would move 10E and 13 into evidence.
They'll be admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Judge, I would ask that 13.
I do feel bad for the record. I kid a lot, and most of my mockery goes towards him. But yeah, this is really messed up for her.
Be passed around to the jurors rather than display that one.
And you just know it's not her fault whatsoever, but you just know she blames herself. Leaving her friend there, she had no idea. And she did not do anything to cause this. But you will, it's human nature to still have that guilt, wondering what you could have done different to not have this happen. And I do feel for her. Yeah, Linda. No, it'll hang over her for the rest of her life. Yeah, I would not wish that on anyone.
Okay.
and she has to relive it now all over again. It's not her fault, but yeah. I hope I hope nobody blames her. I mean, I kind of used dark humor to. No. Definitely wasn't her fault.
Then I'm showing Tenny. Is that the tattoo on her calf?
Yes.
Ah, Jesus.
When you went and gave your statement to Cape Coral, did they show you 6 different photographs of a suspect in this case?
Yes.
May I approach?
You may.
For the record, I'm showing the council what's been marked as State's Deposit Exhibit 41.
True, Ronnie. One sec, guys.
I'm approaching you and showing you State's Exhibit 41. If you would just take a look at this exhibit and tell me if you recognize it.
Yeah, that's my signature there. And these are the photos that they showed me, the lineup photos.
Now, did a detective show you the series of photographs?
Yes, he showed me all those photographs.
And there's a series of 6 photographs, is that correct?
Yes.
And did the detective in any way give you any idea of who you should pick or who you should identify?
No.
Did you have a fair amount of time to be able to look and see if you could ID anybody?
Yes.
And did you in fact ID someone?
Yes, I did.
Hey.
Yellow.
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm good.
I just spent some time with some people talking about a trial I have no idea about.
How'd that go?
Pretty good.
That's
I'm good
good.
at faking it.
I know. Wait.
Shut up.
God damn it.
You wouldn't. Fake, 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 fake.
So yeah, right now we are just doing the direct of the woman who was with that went home with Wade and her friend that night.
The
And-
direct of the woman who went home with Wade and her friend that night.
Yeah. Well, they
What's
went
her-
to
We don't know her name.
starts with an M.
Is that Mila?
Mila. No.
Hang on. The woman who went home
Okay,
with
so-
Wade and her friend that night. That's not her on the stand, is it?
So, hey Barbara, how you doing? Wade and another guy were at a bar.
Uh-huh.
They met her and her friend Christine, I believe, that
Mm-hmm.
was unalived by Wade.
Yep.
But they all 4 of them went to his male friend's mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
Wade and the victim hooked up there, then went back to her house
Mm-hmm.
with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman left, though Wade and her friend alone, and that's when Wade
Yes.
unalived her.
Right.
So she was there with him that night.
Okay.
Melissa, I think.
What's she said so far? Anything in Swayze?
Just what happened that night and identified Wade.
Is she
Yeah.
emotional?
She's gotten upset at points, but no, she's actually held it together quite well. I was
Did
impressed.
she see anything happen?
No, she left in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and because she had to get her son to school or her kid to school.
Right.
But then shortly after, her friend died. So yeah,
Bugger.
yeah. So we'll go for a couple more minutes and then give a
Yeah.
update.
Sweet.
And how were you able to tell who you ID'd?
By my signature,
And then did you also
and then
put
the date. Yes.
And 10/7/19, that's the day that you learned that Christine was no longer with us.
Yes.
And did you identify photo number 4 as a person that had introduced himself to you as JR?
Yes.
And at this time, the state would move 41 into evidence.
Any objection?
Objection, can we approach?
Yes.
Sidebar.
Yes. Let's skip forward.
Hey, Chad, how's it going?
Who is picture number 4?
JR.
And you see JR sitting here in court today.
Yes. He's sitting
Please
right
point
over there.
Okay, so the person sitting right over there is in a sort of a royal blue
He is wearing
jacket.
a royal blue jacket and a yellow tie.
And is that person the person that you knew as JR?
Yes.
And is that the same person that's in photograph number 4?
Yes, that is the same person in photograph number 4.
Oh,
JR.
hey, beautiful,
At
waterfall.
this time, the state would move 41 into evidence.
How are you?
Be a
Good to
minute.
see you here. We are booting it up shortly.
Yes.
We have a moment.
Ma'am.
At this time, the state has no further questions and tenders a witness.
All right. You may.
We have new
Is that,
documents.
you got the
too.
disc and everything else?
Ooh.
Okay, so we'll pause it here. Let's get to the updates.
Okay.
Do. So this is Wade Wilson's official Twitter page.
These official one.
Yes.
Are
So
there
as of-
unofficial ones?
there could be.
Probably. There probably would be. Now, hang on. When you say official, he can't get on there.
No, but his people he knows are running it.
The people, his people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got people.
he's got people.
So yeah, 7 hours ago he was at $88,256 total raised.
Hmm.
So we got so amazing to see that nothing can stop the support. Wow, that's amazing. Keep donating, guys. Brilliant news. Amazing news. Camila. Amen.
Where's all the hearts?
I know.
Come on, ladies.
Guys.
You do better than this. You could no, don't do it without putting the hearts in.
Oh, shit.
I forgot the hearts.
How the hell do I do a blue heart anyways?
Just write blue heart. and they'll come up.
Okay.
Oh, this is just pathetic of you.
Really?
You can't write "Where's the Blue Hearts" without. Okay, no.
I know. I'm trying to like get it to come up. Oh, there we go. I see. Okay, guys, cool. Dolly does a boomer.
Big
Blue.
boomer.
Hot.
Heart. There you go. See?
Oh,
Do 50 of them.
this is fun.
Yep. See, now, wait till your dad goes and looks at your Twitter.
Oh God. Oh, don't troll. No. I don't know if it's fake or not, but
Well, I mean, it's fun anyway.
I mean, the people on there probably aren't all fake.
Hey, Brad, what I thought was funny was in the opening statements by the prosecution, they said, and okay, please forgive my black humor, but he said that the girls were beaten black and blue, and he
Oh.
was wearing black and blue.
Yeah, I was not a good look.
I'm sorry, but like my depraved mind finds that ironic and a little humorous.
Yeah, so if this is the official Twitter account, well, regardless, they officially hit their goal. $90,000.
What? When did that happen?
Less than an hour ago.
Oh
That was my huge news, guys. It happened live while we were on stream.
Oh, it's all because of you.
It was. I was posting that link. No, I absolutely was not. But yes, he's got 2 different donation sites. One of them is at hold on, guys. No, I don't want to donate, for fuck's sake.
That's what the people in your messages are asking you to do.
Yeah. So yeah, one of them has 2414. The main one, Funly, is now at $88,926. So combined, he's over 90,000. We hit the goal, chat.
Chat.
Well, no, there is a YouTube channel. Well, it's been on TikTok. They've been talking. I think they got banned there because TikTok has standards, but they've moved over to YouTube and they've been making videos about it.
What's the page?
Ah, boy, putting me on the spot. Let me get it.
Not that I'm saying we should subscribe and like to it, but you know,
Kind of had to for content.
well, no, for you, yeah, but like not that we
Yeah.
should promote it or anything. But I'm just curious. I cannot believe this guy has this much money, and I don't even think it's him. I think this is a scam. I think these people are taking this money.
Yeah.
I think this whole Fundly thing, whoever it is pretty clever, and they've started this Fundly, and they've gone and they've started a YouTube channel also, which is doing quite well, also very clever, making money out of that too. And they have all their subscribers are all simps for Wade.
Yeah.
And they're just taking this money. It's not going to go to Wade at all.
I mean, that'd be funny.
It's not too hard to work this out.
Particularly due to the alarming number of cases where individuals have been wrongfully convicted and sentenced to death.
That's a real concern. Not for Wade, but for others, yes.
Yes. Look, I agree, no to the death penalty, just generally. but I don't think these people are real.
In Florida alone, there have been 30 exonerations, the highest number of any state. These cases highlight the grave risks of executing innocent people and underscore the systemic issues that plague our justice system. Additionally, false confessions play a significant role in these wrongful convictions. Research indicates that about 12% of all wrongful convictions involve a false confession.
So yeah, that's what they're spending their time on.
Yeah, like he's confessed falsely on the phone to all these people.
Yeah.
All these phone calls we've been listening to, they're all him
Yeah.
confessing falsely
Yeah.
under duress.
So yeah, they have like their Q&A time where they answer questions from us, things like that. Inside the corrupt walls, holding Wade Wilson hot. And yeah, there's some lives that didn't go too well, but you know, they're trying. They're trying. I've heard part of an interview with Wade's dad and one of the fundraisers admin. I'm assuming that Wade's dad let her have it. Yeah. I mean, I'm against the death penalty for sure, but of all the people on death row that I'm going to champion,
No.
Yeah, Wade isn't exactly at the top of the list.
No.
And I'm not even sure there's a possibility it'll be overturned. So regardless, yeah, exactly, Mads. I doubt he'll actually get it, but we'll see. We'll see. Anywho. Ah.
Nice background, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, on the stream. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's from my thumbnail picture.
I know.
See, look at me getting all fancy with the
Look
brand.
at you getting all fancy.
I
still don't
know.
like the software. But at least you got rid of the booger sugar.
That is true. I did get rid of the snowflakes, so progress. Figured that out. Okay, so tomorrow is a Saturday. Are you streaming tomorrow?
I haven't decided yet. Probably. Because Koberger, there have been documents dropped.
Oh, yes.
Drop. There's been about 8 documents dropped. All motion to strike the death penalty. So there is a lot there. One of them's a 400 and something page document. That one is about international law. So basically about how the rest of the world has moved on from eating people. Yeah. What?
We're the United States. I don't think that one's going to fly too well in a U.S. court.
It's quite interesting, actually. A lot of the documents are to do, and I don't know exactly how that's going to fly, because a lot of the documents are to do with, come on, get over yourself. Why is Idaho, I think it's Nebraska, Florida, and Tennessee, it's about 3 of them. You've only got about 3 or 4 states that still have the death penalty. Texas, it's cruel and unusual punishment, and it's really behind the times. Like the rest of the world, it's back in the 1600s is when it was most common. So there's a lot of argument about, come on, move with the times, which is not going to fly because Idaho still has it as a rule. So that's not going to work out. But there's a lot of more pertinent argument, which is to do with the vagueness of their argument towards Koberger, in that he's had to not vagueness, sorry. There is something about vagueness, but the one I think is most pertinent is that he's had to choose between his two rights. He's had to choose between his right to a speedy trial and his counsel's ability to prepare for a death penalty trial. So it's not possible. It's not possible for counsel to prepare for a death penalty trial in under 10 months, and it's unconstitutional for a defendant to have to choose between two rights. And there's lots of case law to show that it's not possible for counsel to prepare for trial for a death penalty case within 10 months because of the mitigation phase they have to prepare for.
Yeah.
And they put forth a very strong argument for that. And I'm sure lots of legal analysts will argue that far stronger than I can.
Yeah.
But yes, what's this one? We're talking about
yeah, no,
Wade's
verdict. No, it was not unanimous, and yeah, Truth Addiction TV is correct. It was 9-3 on one count and 10-2 on the other count. So that's definitely going to be a sticking point for appeal.
I'm very interested in how it can be constitutional that the death penalty can be decided 8-4.
Yeah, DeSantis in Florida got all butthurt after Cruz didn't get the DP and rallied Congress in Florida to change it. But I think only one other person so far has gotten the death penalty, and it has not come close to being challenged yet. So I don't know. I don't see how that's constitutional. But
I mean, it's a matter of time, in my opinion. I mean, I'm an Australian. I'm all the way over here, and we've gotten rid of the death penalty a long time ago. But I feel like it's a matter of time before the US abolishes the death penalty entirely. But there are some states that just won't get rid of it. But it's heartening to know that most states have.
Yeah, or they just don't use it anymore.
And a lot of states that, yes, of the states that are left that have it, there are some that haven't used it for a really long time.
Yeah.
So that's something too. But it's very interesting that it's such a outdated modality.
Oh, Danny, you're back.
Oh, Danny's back. Hello.
Hey, congratulations on meeting your goal for the donations. Can I ask you what it is about Wade that you like so much? Do you think he's innocent? I'd love your thoughts.
Also, we saw your donation, Danny.
Yes, that was very impressive.
$1,080, was it? What made you go for that $1,080? I wonder. Well, it may have been a conversion.
Yeah,
Are
that's
you
what I'm
in
guessing.
the US? I wonder.
Probably Europe.
She can answer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, we don't need to attack her or anything. I'm curious to see what
No,
she has
it's
to say for
interesting.
herself. So we're doing Sarah Boone next.
Yes. So, while we wait for Danny to respond, because we're really interested in what Danny has to say. We're waiting for you to come back the other day, Danny. Yeah, Sarah Boone. So, the stream that's coming up in a moment. No, Mads, I'm not saying it's an argument for BK. That's not an argument to put forward. Well, they have put it forward.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to make a difference.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think that's going to make a difference.
Especially in the US.
No. No. They have put it forward, but it's not going to be the thing that's going to make the difference. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Little old me. So next we have Sarah Boone, and she has a team of lawyers now. Little old Sarah Boone, who burnt through 8 lawyers or 5 or 4 or whatever it was, who couldn't retain a lawyer, We're now a month out from trial or whatever it is. So we're now September 7. Yes, October 7 is when the trial starts. So we're a month out from trial. I have news for you guys. Another lawyer stepped up to the plate, so another lawyer is on the record. And I think there might be some more, actually. Some other names have turned up. So we're going to look into that. There's also been some incidents that have happened in the inmate records that are curious. So there's some reasons for her smiles, I think. Maybe Mr. Cacciatore and the state need to work a little bit harder. Maybe this is not in the bag for the state. Maybe it's not all zipped up.
Yes. See what you did there.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. Anyway.
Yes.
I need to go and get that ready, so I'm going to pop out.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. See you.
I'll see you over there.
Bye.
Bye. Danny, I posted my email in chat. If you're interested, I would love to discuss what it is about Wade, just civilly, no judgment. Not going to critique or anything. I'm just curious your opinion is all. That's it. All right. I'm going to end now. And it's been a lot of fun. I'll be back tomorrow. Not sure exactly. I believe probably around 5 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, around there. And then we can figure out, watch more of the trial and see if there's any other updates and things like that. So thanks everybody for being here. No, I won't expose you at all. No, it'll be confidential. And if you want to talk, we can. If not, I understand, but I'll be nice. So, yep, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Oh, wait, let me make sure the redirect's set up. Yep. All right. Toodles.